Welcome back to another episode of The Sapient. So even before we get into anything, from my T-shirt, you can probably guess where this episode is heading towards. And today we have Ram on the episode, and he's also a fellow podcaster, right? So he talks a lot. So yeah, Ram, introduce yourself and tell us what you're up to.
Yeah, isn't that probably the thing that connects the podcasters that they just talk a lot that probably I don't know about you, but yeah, my family members are a little relieved because the podcast gives you a it channel to just get that
Yeah,
excess
yeah,
energy out. It's like I take my dog
exactly.
to the dog park every day to get that pent up energy out. So the podcast kind of serves as that platform,
Yep.
and we spare our families of all that nonsense that goes out.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I run this podcast called Match Paatheengala Boss.
Mm-hmm.
I think a portion of your listeners who are Tamil would
Yeah.
know what I am, would be able to relate to this. It's a
Mm-hmm.
cricket podcast. And I have a partner. His name is Srini. He's an ECB certified umpire. He lives
Nice.
in UK. So we
Mm-hmm.
both were so mad, and probably, we also cared about our family lives, and we wanted to spare our family and thought, okay, let's just channelize our thoughts in that podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We started it as like a little hobby on the side where we'll feel like we'll do it in a serious way though.
Mm-hmm.
But we won't put too much pressure on ourselves. But yeah, we started with zero, and now the family is like close to 600, inching towards 1,000
Nice.
on YouTube alone, and we are also on all the other platforms like the
Mm-hmm.
Spotify's and the Apple Podcast and everywhere where Sapient is on. We are also there in a very small way, not as big as Sapient.
No,
And it's a
definitely. Like I think it's not about numbers, right? Like it's about having fun and yeah. Like at what point did you call yourself as a professional podcaster?
I don't think I can still call myself as a professional podcaster. Maybe I can
Mm-hmm.
call it when we don't have to spend our own money on it, and we can start. We can
Yeah.
get that. We can even out. So we haven't reached that stage, but guess what? You did give me an advice. I remember on one of the calls that
Yeah.
there is no way we can scale if you
Yep.
are going to do everything. So we
Yep.
did start looking out for some help.
Mm-hmm.
For editing and some other social
Yeah.
media stuff, and hopefully that should get us to level up. But last year is when it's been brewing since COVID. I
Mm-hmm.
wish I could have started this 5 years ago if I knew how relatively easy it is on some
Yeah,
of
but
these
you know what?
platforms.
If you started like 5 years ago, you wouldn't survive. I have a very strong feeling with that.
Okay, why do you say that?
Bec- because all of our lives changed so much, right, in 5 years. Like this part would not survive, definitely.
Okay, I have a contrary view. I feel like people
Mhm.
were yearning for content
Yes, definitely.
during the
No, that
COVID
was
time,
there.
and
In COVID, anybody who could speak ABCs, went viral.
yeah. um, but yeah, just going back to your question. So we started last year, and there
Hmm.
was even though this is in English, I personally took a call that I want to do this in Tamil because I think
Hmm.
that's where I think there is an opening. My mother tongue is Tamil. Yes, I've lived in all parts of India. Grew up in Delhi and other places in Hyderabad, and that's why I'm like a Sunrisers kind of a
Hmm.
real fanboy as well. But you just in when you speak in your own regional language, you don't have to think of you have more control of the language, and I just felt there is space out there.
Yes.
I don't
Hmm.
Yeah, I was a little intimidated by Harsha Bogle, let's just put it that way, and all the other
Yes.
podcasters out there.
Yes.
No, it's true respect to them. I think that market
Yeah.
is saturated. Let's be
Hmm.
very honest. But I think in Tamil
Yeah.
there is a whether it's Tamil or Kannada or Malayalam, like there are enough
Yeah.
people. The market is so huge, and the appetite is
Hmm.
there for
Hmm.
people to consume.
Yeah.
And even though there are professional cricketers who are running their own channels, the difference is
Hmm.
we bring a fan perspective, and we don't have to fear about, say, what Jay Shah give us the next IPL contract, or yeah, it's
Yeah.
no holds bar, just like
Hmm.
Sapient
Yeah.
podcast. We are also very independent of
Hmm.
any external pressure, so we can speak our mind.
Yeah.
If Kohli okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to say something very controversial. I hope your
That's
viewers don't
okay.
take it otherwise, but if Kohli doesn't play well, we say he doesn't play well.
Yeah.
Yes, we will not act like Kohli or hitman fanboys
Hmm. Yeah.
just for the sake of it. Yes, he had a very poor season. He's very vulnerable
Hmm.
outside the off stump. Amazing century
Hmm.
in the opening game against IPL in the IPL, but
Hmm.
we were all
Since then,
disappointed. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, did you just ask?
since
Is he?
then,
Yeah, I
like,
don't know if he's done. He's not done in ODIs for sure. We saw that in
yeah, you
Champions
know
Trophy,
what I
but
think? I think IPL is his, like, I would say, honeymoon period, right? It's a gestation period for him because he just won this big trophy, and all of a sudden we are like, dude, play good in IPL. He's like, yeah, man, it's not because he's not a captain anymore, right? And it does seem like because he was subbed right in the last match, so it's like he's not getting the pull or respect that he needs to be demanding. So he's like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to sit here for a year, like, and of course, nobody would drop Rohit Sharma any day, right?
I think okay, there's just so
No, just
many
because of
layers
the,
to
like,
whatever you are saying that we'll have to
but
like
it's
really
like the
break it
commercial
down.
value, right? Like the commercial value that Rohit Sharma brings to a team, right?
Okay.
Just imagine Rohit Sharma going to, like, Delhi Capitals, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like it would change their landscape in terms of how they value their team. So it's not like
Yeah.
Mumbai is getting rid of him,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right? So he's like, I know I'm safe enough, even if I don't play for a year. It's not a big deal.
So you are bringing in two different topics, is what I feel, right? Like, and they are related. I'll
Yeah.
I'll give it to you. One is the cricket,
Mm.
what they have to contribute as a player. Are they overvalued? And
Yes,
that's, I think, the
definitely.
beauty of IPL because it puts every player under the hammer. But
Hmm.
in certain cases of a certain star players, Kohli and Rohit especially, there
Hmm.
is a value. Like you get this player, you may
Yep.
not win the IPL, but you will have enough money in the bank.
Hmm.
You and you will bring in the fans, and they just have to play par. They don't have to
Yeah.
do over and above. So
Hmm.
in that terms, if has Kohli faded a bit compared to say a 2016 Mohali versus Australia World Cup?
Hmm.
Yes, he has.
Hmm.
uh, did he play an amazing innings? Yeah, he did. He scored
Yeah.
700 runs in the last IPL.
Hmm.
But let's be honest, I think Kohli is going to be judged. This is the IPL is his honeymoon, not just. Actually, honeymoon could be a little overrated. He is under the pump, like number 18. This
Yeah, yeah.
whole IPL season
Hmm.
seems to have been like
Yeah.
marketed as a
Around
18th
him.
IPL
Yep.
number 18 thing. So he is under pressure. RCB won
Hmm.
the other day, so great. But I think the
Yeah.
moment they start losing, the RCB fans, probably the best fans, I would say, among all,
Hmm.
not the best, like it's the most passionate fan base by a
Yes.
margin.
Most loyal
uh,
fans. Yeah, definitely.
most loyal, right? Despite
Yeah.
17 disappointments, they are still behind them, and kudos to them. And I feel like
Yeah.
even in our preview, we just said like, yeah, just they don't have the best team. Let's be
Hmm.
very honest. The
Definitely.
bowling
Yeah.
is bowling still
And it
lacks the
it
teeth.
definitely revolves around like two or three people. That's it.
True. Phil Salt is one of them now for sure. But it's just for the fans. Like, can you please do this for the fans?
Yeah.
But guess what? I feel like he has 7 more years to do till I see
Yeah.
like
Definitely.
Dhoni is 43, 44.
Yeah.
Kohli is 37. Just
Hmm.
seeing his fitness, he's
Yeah.
going to play at least till Dhoni plays. And thanks to the
Hmm.
super sub rule,
Yeah.
yeah, you just have to come out and bat and just go and sit in the dugout. That's what Rohit Sharma's been doing.
Yeah, and
Um,
also compared to Dhoni, he doesn't have to work that hard on field, right? When even when his team is bowling, because he's not, he's just, he could literally stand in like deep leg, and
Yeah,
that's okay.
but just knowing his fire, he does
Yeah,
stand. Like, let's kudos to the guy. He did bring in the fitness revolution. He stands by it. You still see he is the yeah. When Faf is not there, probably he is their first or second best fielder. He does
yeah,
stand at long on and long off, which is like
yes,
your prime real estate
mm-hmm.
that you have to manage
Yeah,
in the IPL. So kudos to the guy. I'm very happy. Let's put it this way. I'm very happy personally that he's not the captain. Because
Yes.
imagine if they were to lose few matches or they did not qualify for the. Do you like take him off again and go through that
Mm-hmm.
entire
Yeah.
saga and
But to be
backlash?
honest, they don't have the best captain right now
Yeah.
because there is so much pedigree floating around in IPL,
Hmm.
right? Both domestic and international. Like they could have bought anybody,
Hmm. They
right? But they were like, we are going to bet on this young guy and see how it turns out.
Yeah, they bet on Rasik Salam this time pretty big. And he went for what, like, Rahane hit him for what, 26, 28 runs in that over.
Yeah, that's Rahane,
That's, yeah, of course,
right?
it's Rahane 2.0. It's the CSK Rahane that
No,
turned
but
out
no,
for
what I'm trying to
KKR,
say
but
is it's
still,
like
yeah,
imagine against SRH or like,
yeah.
some big hitting team. It would be very bad day in the office, definitely.
True, true. Yeah, and also, so here's my blueprint for all the
Mm-hmm.
RCB fans who are like listening. Okay, what are you guys even getting to? Okay, we all know about this Kohli pressure and everything. Maybe let me bring something, my own theory
Mm-hmm.
for how RCB, blueprint on how RCB can actually win this. Not this
Mm-hmm.
season, I don't know, but if I were at the auction table, I would bet I would put 60 to 65% of the money on the top
Mm-hmm.
five bowlers.
Mm-hmm.
I would go and pay, instead of paying a 23 crores for a Klasin or a 22 crores. I mean, you need Kohli, can't help it, but I would pay 25 crores to get Bumrah. Do whatever
Mm-hmm.
dealing it takes. Get
Yeah,
Bumrah in. Get maybe, yeah, get you got Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. He's the best, one of the best new ball bowlers. uh, you can't get, I don't think you can have Bumrah and afford him and Rashid Khan,
definitely
but can
not.
you get
Yeah,
an, can you get an Adam Zampa or a Yuzvendra Chahal, who's been a proven
yeah, and
player
also
at
whom they
Chinnaswamy?
dropped,
Sorry.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Who they let him
They,
go away. They
yeah,
could have retained him instead of Siraj now, right? As you look back, they
yeah.
retained Siraj last time in the previous cycle.
Mm-hmm.
But
But
I'm
Ram,
like,
what I feel
bring,
is RCB has a special skill of letting players go just when they hit their like good era, right? Good patch.
yeah, KL
And
Rahul.
also
Yeah, he went to
and
Punjab and
also
scored
it's
16
like
ball 50s there. Yeah.
yeah, but it's like you cannot point a player, right? Even domestic or international, a young player who was nurtured within RCB, right? Like Mumbai Indians do that, Chennai Super Kings do that, like a lot of other teams do that.
Yeah.
But
If
whereas RCB has always bet on like big names, right, to make impact. And
Yeah, they
when
end
big
up.
names fail,
Mm,
obviously, right, because there is so much expectation on like two or three people, it's like okay, let's drop this guy and bring a younger guy to replace that person, and it just doesn't work.
yeah, they end up at the auction, like I can just, as as you were saying, yeah, Yuvraj Singh for 16 crores. What were you doing? He was
Yeah.
definitely not, you know, par his. It was not
Mm-hmm.
at his peak anymore. And you paid 16
Mm.
crores. They paid like, tons of money for yeah, so many players from Kevin Peterson to, yeah, it's just, yeah, you can go through an entire
Yeah,
list. And
like if you look at it, they even invested in Faf, right? But instead of just letting him go, right, like I would say just think better. Like yeah, because I think their kind of formula is have all rounders.
yeah, that's, again, I feel that's where first of all, like Dinesh Karthik, great
Hmm.
guy to have
Yeah.
on the money with Phil Salt selection this year.
Hmm. But I think
He is a
DK
modern
was
thinking cricketer
rather a
as well.
fluke than sound decision.
Oh no, there is a video that
Hmm.
RCB released. Again, kudos to their social media team. That's whether they win the IPL or not, they win the social media
Yeah, yeah,
side of the IPL. Whether it's Mr. Nags or all these other videos they
yeah.
released, but they did the auction strategy,
Hmm.
release the auction strategy snippets on
Okay.
why they really wanted to go for Phil Salt. This is before the auction. The video was shot and it was
Hmm.
released after the auction. And they did the numbers, his power play impact and what he showed the other day. Like, he ended the game in power play. He is your
Hmm.
right-handed Travis Head for
Yeah.
RCB.
Yes.
uh, so he I think their auction strategy was not totally off this
Hmm.
time. But they really needed another big strike bowler instead of going
Yep.
for a, yeah, Liam Livingston is good. You need him. They needed a basically an English Maxwell, I would say. That's what he does.
That's what I told you, right? It's like they are looking for replacements rather than bringing actual talent in. Like
Hmm.
their strategy doesn't change at all. It's like they are stuck with, okay, we'll have four big players, four big name players, right? Who will soak in and all the pressure, do the work, and we will bet on the other five or six people who might or might not turn out to be good.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Other than say a Devdutt Padikkal, I
Yep.
couldn't think of them like, investing, nurturing some homegrown
Yeah.
talent in the last few years. Even
Hmm.
Faf, yeah, invested, but yeah, he was a proven player before
Yeah.
that.
No, but also even if you look throughout the years, like how many players did debut, right? Their IPL journey with RCB.
Hmm.
I bet it's rather low. It's not as
Right.
high as
Like
other teams, right?
the other
Because
day we
Mumbai
saw,
Indians debut two people on the
yeah,
first match. They are
yeah,
willing to, bet stuff.
right. Yeah, Mumbai Indians, of course, is they have probably the best scouting team.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vignesh Puthur was,
Right?
such a delight to watch, like a little
Yes.
Kuldeep Yadav
Yeah.
coming through. But and also just to maybe a round up on RCB, I'll quote this famous analogy from Harsha Bogle, and
Mm-hmm.
he says, "Our Virat Kohli, like during the Kohli, Gale, De Villiers era,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or
Yeah.
especially the Kohli De Villiers era, are Kohli and De Villiers the tree that is giving them the fruits, or are they the tree that is blocking the sunlight from other saplings to come through?"
Mm-hmm.
That's what RCB have to decide,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, yeah, I can go for 2 hours for RCB and still will be scratching the surface for sure.
Yes. So, guys, to our listeners, if you have not yet figured out what this episode is about, um, this is about cricket and especially IPL, which is the Indian Premier League. So, just putting it out there. Um, yeah, because right now I just realized that we haven't actually informed people what we're talking about. Right? Such a
Yeah.
rookie mistake. Yeah. So, what do you think about, right? If you really look at it in terms of long-term strategy, like yesterday, did you see the Delhi Capitals match?
Yeah. Ashutosh, right?
Yes. Yes.
Like he, and yeah, I knew it, man. Punjab, they
Hmm.
retained Prab Simran Singh and
Yeah.
Shashank,
Hmm.
right? And they should. I called it out in our podcast preview episode as well, that they should have retained Ashutosh, man. The way he was
Hmm.
hitting last time, coming as impact sub.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved the match. What I learned is, yeah, no, 8 for 3 in 3 overs, and you could still recover and score. So 10 per over is the new 6 per over now,
Yeah. Yeah.
is what that's what we are learning. And what was this
Hmm.
guy? This guy was like 20 of 20 balls,
Yep.
and then the next 11 balls he scored 46 runs, if I'm right. Like
Yeah.
that means like he's scoring what, more than 4 runs. Like,
Yeah.
I
4.5,
that's what
4.6.
I like. We saw the match,
Yeah.
but when I read the stat, I wanted to actually go back again and see the cricket for commentary again. Like how's this like that many six? Yeah, he's hitting sixes on the at your
Yeah.
will. Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing match, man. Amazing match. I did not
Like
see
that's
that coming.
like their highest, run chased in DC history.
Yeah, it was
Like they are
bound to
never
be
chased
broke.
those many runs.
Yeah, we are now looking at a 230, 240 par. It's scary,
Yeah.
man. Honestly, this whole run fest. I'm not
Yeah.
personally a big fan.
But you know what? Wait for like one or two matches of SRH against some weak teams. We will be talking about 300.
Yeah, SRH against RCB at
My
Chinnaswamy.
God.
Probably
Yeah.
you need to bet your money on that. Again, no offense to RCB. They did last
No,
time they came
honestly,
very
right?
close, I remember.
But from a cricketing perspective, there is not much that RCB can do in terms of damage. right? Because even if you look at yesterday, Stark got like absolutely hammered, right, at the beginning. So it's like it's very apparent that foreign ballers are not doing good in IPL.
Mm, well, let's wait for Rashid Khan.
Yeah, yeah, but he's like kind of
What
Indian.
about Josh Hazelwood? He
Yeah.
did put turn the screws in, but you are
Mm-hmm.
right. Predominantly IPL.
Yeah.
All your my partner again talked about this in one of sorry, I'm just keeping referring to these episodes because that's
Mm-hmm.
where all the conversations happened, and I tend to learn
Yeah.
as well that we talked about these set of cricketers who will do wonders
Yeah.
in their while in their national colors, but
Mm-hmm.
or let's say in other leagues, the
Mm-hmm.
moment they come here it's just some Harry
Doesn't
Brook,
work.
basically they have the Harry
Yeah.
Brook syndrome.
Yeah.
uh, Liam Livingston, okay for Punjab, but nowhere close to the potential that he has.
Mm-hmm.
Very few cricketers kind of deliver season and season in season out like a Chris Gale or a David Warner.
Yeah.
They do. Daryl Mitchell is an excellent recent
Yep.
phenomena. 14 crores, if I'm right, for the jersey that
Mm-hmm.
you are wearing, the team yellow. They brought him with, yeah, they thought he will be the new Ambati Raidu, but yeah, nothing materialized. Now, of
Yeah.
course, they are very lucky in having Rachin Ravindra. Not lucky, actually, it's a very good strategy to have Rachin Ravindra in
Yeah.
there. So, anyway, yeah, CSK and
Like
RCB will
it
gravitate towards them, I guess.
yeah, but to be honest, CSK seems to be the most, like, I would say, like, average team on paper. It's not like, oh my god, they will do some wonders.
Are you
Like,
sure?
yeah,
I have
because
a
if you look
very
at,
different opinion. I feel they are the
no, they're very
SRH might be the
stable.
most scary team, but I feel CSK is the biggest contender. Like I would
Yes,
put
definitely,
my money
because
on them being in the
I feel like
finals.
because that's because of stability, right?
Hmm.
But it's not like you would say, you would look at SRH and say, yeah, they are going to be chaotic at the least, right? Like, and even if you just look at the lineup, you get kind of scared. You're like, okay, this is big, right? And it's the same thing with Mumbai Indians, right? And even they had a very shitty first match that they always do, but
20,
they still have the powerhouse with them,
yeah.
right?
2012 is what I heard in the commentary that the last time Mumbai
Yeah.
Indians won an opening match was way back in 2012.
Yep.
Um, and how many did they lose? Like six. They
12, I
lost.
think.
And no, I'm saying in one of the seasons they lost like the first five
Yes,
matches and
yes,
then
yeah,
still
first
went
five
on
or
to
six
win the
matches.
IPL.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call it their own good omen thing. But
Yes.
yeah, batting wise, I would rate after SRH or in a
Mm-hmm.
full strength, like when Hardik Pandya
Mm-hmm.
comes back. Mumbai Indians is probably the strongest. If very very
Mm-hmm.
big if Rohit Sharma can score at
Convert, yeah.
200, he doesn't need to score 50. He doesn't need to score 60.
Mm-hmm.
Can he score 10 ball 25? And not
Yeah.
get out in the first over to like he did to Khalil Ahmed the other
You
day.
know what? I wouldn't be mad even if he got out in the first over, if he scored like 30 runs.
Okay, nobody will be mad. I think every team
Right?
will take that. I
Yes. It's the same case with Sunil Narayan, right?
yeah.
Like, they're not worried about him getting out. They're like, I know you will definitely get out in the early stages, but just go crazy with that. And I like that strategy, especially with KKR, because it kind of messes up with the bowling's attack plan. Because they're like, do we give our prime bowlers the first 2 overs, or do we just like show our back end cards and let them take the hitting, right?
Yeah.
Because
It
yeah.
it puzzles me, man, with Sunil Narayan, the way he doesn't do anything much for
Yes.
West Indies, like not from a batting power play
Mm-hmm.
opening
Yeah.
standpoint, right? They have this guy, Lord Brandon King, and some other guy, but moment he turns up in this KKR colors, something
Yeah.
switches on, and what really puzzles me is how can no strategist figure out a way against a part-time batter? How
Yes.
can you should be able to yeah, he does have three good shots. He has the hike over the long on, which is perfect in power play. Doesn't need to clear the
Mm-hmm.
field. Is gifted with very good timing
Yes.
for a bowler. and he's decent enough on outside the off stump, and he can wonk the spinner over the mid wicket. But
Yeah.
I still feel there
But
should
you know
be ways.
what? If you look at his batting, he edges very, very, very rarely. Like he's very good with like just getting it into the middle of the bat, right? And
Yeah,
he's because if you look at Sunil Naran, he's not a very exciting player. Like it's not like five sixes and over kind of guy, but he will definitely like mess up anybody's plan, right? Like if
yeah,
he
I
sticks
agree. The
for
bowling
like
plans. Yeah,
yeah, because if he sticks for 7 to 8 overs, then people are like, okay, like what do we do now,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because you expect Rahane to do mistakes because of he has not been playing in this style for a longer time, right? You expect him to make mistakes. Just that in the last match he did that, right? Um,
yeah. Rahane is actually in the mold of Parthiv Patel, right? Parthiv
yeah,
Patel would used to, especially for RCB fans again. Man, will keep coming back to RCB. No wonder what we do. He's your power play batter, but he will
yeah,
try to get out after that. But
hmm,
Rahane actually, I don't know whether it's a small Indian grounds that
hmm,
helps him. I
hmm,
would love to see his performance in, say, a ground like Mohali or
hmm,
at Jaipur. Even
hmm,
Hyderabad is a decent sized ground.
yeah, not in
I
Chinnaswamy
would
though.
judge Rahane in those grounds
Yeah,
after the sixth over.
hmm,
Like how
yes,
effective is
definitely.
this Rahane, the CSK Rahane 2.0
Hmm,
is
yeah.
what I call him.
But they have enough power. Even if it gets out within power play, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, that's the whole idea, isn't it? Of promoting, say, someone like a Sunil Narayan, or bringing.
Yeah.
Remember, Rajasthan would bring R Ashwin in if they
Yes.
in the power
Yes.
plates. Like call
Yeah.
them the power play enforcers these
Hmm.
days. Like you are happy to waste a wicket, but your batting kind of then prolongs,
Yeah.
and your key batters need to come in. You're
Hmm.
there. What they call as is like this entry point. Your
Hmm.
Dinesh Karthik as a hitter needs to come in at the 15th or 16th over. Your Hardik
Yes.
Pandya 1.0,
Hmm.
your you know Kyron Pollard in his prime. Right
Yep.
now, Russell, they would
Yeah.
not want Russell to come in and in the 11th or 12th over. They would want him
Yes.
around that 15th, 16th over. You
Hmm.
just play your 20 balls, get me the 60 runs.
Yep.
Um, yeah, and it helps when you have a bowler playing a batter and you can sacrifice them. So if he hits, he
Hmm.
hits, but they don't waste
Yeah.
time. I think
Yes.
that's been the common theme, whether we
Hmm.
started this with today's match of
Hmm.
Delhi Capitals
Yeah.
shocking the hell out of Lucknow, and uh,
Yeah. Because that was like expected. Like, yeah, they will lose, right?
yeah,
Like it was like DC will definitely lose because they have never chased those many runs, and they got into trouble very quickly. It was
yeah,
like, yeah, like maybe.
they both are very subpar teams. I expect
Yes.
one of them to end up at number 10.
Hmm.
I don't know who's going to win, but I know one of them will end up at number 10. And
Hmm.
even if somebody put a gun at my head, like I would say it's going to be LSG. I can't think of anyone other than the two players who performed today, especially
Hmm.
Nicholas Puran.
Yeah.
There was nothing. What was that? Marsh and Puran, they scored what, 140,
They
145,
scored
150
the
runs
majority of the
in
runs. Yep.
60 balls, and the
Hmm.
other batsman scored 55 runs in 55 balls.
Yeah.
Um, Pant should actually blame. Like he spent 6 balls, scored zero, and yeah, that I don't know. Some analysts may say that was the difference.
Yeah.
Their
And I
slowdown
think we
after 13th
all,
over.
yeah, we all are aware of the owner of LSG.
Yeah,
Very
that's
nice chap,
the
right?
Mr. Goenka and
Yeah.
his preachings to KL Rahul, right? I was
Yeah.
looking forward to KL Rahul, man. Today I couldn't get a
Hmm.
glimpse, but
Yeah, but
I'm
can I
hoping
ask
for
you
the return
this?
leg.
Where is Shreyas Iyer though?
Shreyas Iyer is in Punjab. But he's the costliest player. He's 27 crores.
So
IPL
yeah.
winning captain. At least Punjab has brought him in. They've paid a
Hmm.
premium on him. I call it the captaincy tax.
But I think there is some fishy thing going on if KKR dropped him.
No, I think they just couldn't afford him, and they are right. I don't think a middle order, one dimensional batter
Play,
like
yeah.
Shreyas Iyer warrants 27 crores.
Crores.
The
Yep.
same 27
Definitely.
crores was paid for Rishabh Pant, but Rishabh Pant is a
Hmm.
he's a lefty,
Hmm.
middle over six hitter, which okay you can say this
Yes.
guy, but captain and wicket keeper. So he
Yep.
brings in all these different roles.
Correct. Exactly.
But Shreyas Iyer, yeah, captain. It was just captaincy tax
Hmm.
for
Yeah.
Shreyas Iyer, but you
Also,
but
it's
they
like it's a sexist kind of thing, right? Like, okay, he is very good at doing this one thing. That is not batting. That's like managing the team. So let's because I think Punjab definitely needs a face, right? Like
that's
who
what the
needs to
tax is
lead
for.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the his value is somewhere at 14 crores. Like you have your Dhruv Jurels, the Jitesh Sharmas, Abhishek
Oh
Sharma is
my
15
god.
crores, man. Sorry.
Oh my god, you just yeah. Do you remember because
Actually,
you
when
brought
Jitesh
up
Sharma
Dhruv
is
Jurel?
overpriced a little bit, I feel, but we'll
Yeah.
see.
No, because you brought up Dhruv Jurel. Do you remember his first Indian match where he just got out because of he touched his own wicket? It was a hit wicket.
Hmm. Yeah, but
Yeah.
that happens, right? You can come on. First match, we have to give it
Yeah.
up. He had an excellent first season for
Hmm.
Rajasthan when we played in. I think when it was in Dubai, I feel, or one or two seasons back. Yeah, a little bit overpriced. Maybe I spoke a little early, but say think of Abhishek Sharma. Excellent example.
Yes.
15
Hmm.
crores, perfect.
Hmm.
15 or 18 crores. I think he both him
But
and
I think
Travis Head.
that's the best efficient purchase they have made, SRH.
Yeah,
Right? They're
exactly.
like because he comes from a very good stable of coaching, right? And he has been consistent. That's his thing. Like
He,
you don't
he
expect him to be like to the moon.
He does have a very clear head,
Hmm.
pun unintended. Um, his striking reminds me of Yuvraj Singh
Yes.
sometimes, like
And that's where
especially when he
his
hits
coaching comes from, right?
offside. Yeah,
Like Yuvraj Singh has been coaching him, so it's like I think it's very like visible, right? Like when he starts hitting.
yeah. Especially offside, man. The offside, the
Yeah.
inside out shot or the slap that he does
Hmm.
effortlessly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a treat to watch. I'm so glad they finally have him in the India colors as well. So
Yes.
I would expect wonders from him for
Hmm.
2026 World Cup. Isn't that
Yeah.
an exciting thing now? Finally, India T20 team is totally off the baggage
Hmm.
of all the so-called star players,
Yes.
and purely it's now based on every player in that team now,
Hmm.
under Sky's leadership,
Yeah.
right from your Abhishek Sharma to Sanju Samson,
Hmm.
to the end, are all IPL bred players, like they who have grown up on a T20 diet. Their coach, unlike the coaches of the previous generation who would say do not get out, this coach,
Yeah.
the first thing they coach them is how to hit a six.
Yeah.
So it's Kevin Peterson has a very famous quote. He says like it's six, if not then a
Hmm.
four, if not then a two, if not then a one or a
Hmm.
dot. That's
Yeah.
the order of priority. So all these
Hmm.
guys are this freewheeling.
Correct.
Yeah,
They're like the wild Texans,
yeah.
right? Like they just don't give a they don't care about it. They're like, yeah. I think it's also because of like I would say the promises that the coaches make.
Mhm.
Like you won't be dropped if you get out. Like just don't worry about it, right?
That's the thing about T20 coaching. You cannot. The most important number is not the strike rate.
Hmm.
It's your how many times did you try to hit a boundary.
Yeah.
That's the more important fact. If you got out hitting the right shot, that is fine. If you got out hitting a wrong shot, or worst thing, the biggest crime is you're not trying to hit a boundary.
Hmm.
So especially with this whole super sub impact sub thing, it's now
Yeah.
there is no role for an anchor. Like you have to go. 20 overs
Hmm.
is way too long for a batting lineup to be, to get out, like to become all out.
Yes. Yeah.
So everyone has the
But you
freedom.
know what? Like after this whole T20 mayhem, right? In with Champions Trophy, it was very clear. Nobody has a fucking clue how to play 50 overs.
Okay, there comes the first F bomb. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, the first F bomb of the episode. Yeah, because it was very clear. Even India didn't have a clue how to, play 50 overs. because it's almost like they did go into the kind of zone where they were like, okay, it's like the bigger version of T20.
Are you sure? I won't buy that for especially India. I could say
Mhm.
that for some of the other teams, but
I think
I thought India personally
uh
like adapted
no,
pretty
that's
well.
because India just played better cricket.
Yeah, they
But
won purely because of
right,
better cricket. They had the advantage of Dubai. Let's not deny that. I don't know
because
why.
even if you look at Rohit Sharma's style of playing in Champions Trophy, he was like, I don't care if I get out in 1 over or 5 overs. I'm here to hit and walk.
Right. Okay. So we have now jumped
No, no. But what
altogether
I'm trying to
to
say is,
India blue color. No, that's great. I want
no. What
us
I'm trying to
to.
say is, other teams would not do that, and even India itself wouldn't do that earlier, right? But with the T20, they're like, I'm willing to lose my wicket because we have batting depth.
Yeah, but that's only that rule, if you actually observe, is only applicable for Rohit Sharma himself. What
Yes.
and it this all started in 2023 World Cup, right?
Yeah.
Where they decided they have to go with intent,
Yeah.
and
Because
he
I
led
think,
from the front. He's a guy who can
yeah.
score 264 in a ODI innings, but he has now made himself this power play enforcer. He said, okay, if I get out by the 10th over, I've scored a 40 ball 65 70,
Hmm.
and the team is what, like in 10 overs we are at 80 90 runs. I
Hmm.
know the Kohlis, the Shreyas Iyers can take the game to a they are playing the 350 game on a good track and not a 300 320 game.
Yeah.
He's solely responsible, and in Dubai actually it worked really well because
Hmm.
the ball, once the new ball became old, it was so hard to get it off the square. So
Yeah.
it became even more important for Rohit Sharma to be this new Rohit Sharma 2.0.
Hmm.
And yeah, he played that massive role, right? You saw
Right.
him how he
Yeah.
hit the Pakistani.
I think the change happened in like 2019. You're right. Like when Kohli and Rohit were, criticized for playing too slow.
Yeah. Kohli. Which year you said again? Sorry.
I think 2019.
2019, I think the problem was not just slow. You're right, they were slow. That was part of it. But I think
No, I
the
think
center
these two
of
players were like heavily criticized. Like they are like, this is old generation cricket. It's not new generation exciting cricket. Because you remember during that time Australia was hitting everybody.
not in 2019, but
Like,
maybe six
no,
seven
no.
years
What I'm saying is
prior.
like they were stepping up their run rates. Like they were like, we might get all out earlier, but if there is enough score, we can play.
Yeah.
Like that
Mm,
mindset.
if it is 2019, then maybe we are mistaking it with England. England were the one
That's a
who.
whole different story. The baseball thing.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about England's ODI revolution. So in
Yeah.
2015 World Cup, when
Hmm.
England lost to Bangladesh in that quarter final, that was the best day for England cricket because that's the day they were so exposed that knew they had to do something different. The following series in 2015 that they played against New Zealand, Brendan McCullum's team actually, the scores were all 400, 350, 400s. That was the ODI revolution that Owen Morgan brought in with Josh
Hmm.
Butler at, and just unleashed everyone from right from
Yeah.
Bairstow at the top himself,
Hmm.
and that culminated in their 2019 World Cup. This ultra aggressive baseball that you see in Test cricket, they have done that in ODI cricket for those 4 years.
Hmm.
Mm.
But
But
now,
coming back, yeah.
what happened in Champions Trophy? Though? What do you think happened with England?
So they were still living in their 2019 dreams. That is the problem. They did not evolve
Yeah.
after winning the 2019 World Cup. Uh, like that tail end, the
Hmm.
tailwind actually helped them get to the 2022 T20 World Cup. But them at subcontinents, you need quality spinners, man.
Yeah. But do you think
Without
it was like the pollution? Do you think it was like the
Nah, I
diet?
don't
Maybe
think
the
so.
lighting?
It comes for all the teams, right? How come New Zealand, come on, New Zealand AQI would be way better than even London's AQI, right? So they consistently they perform because they had Mitchell Santner.
Yeah.
Even Rachin Ravindra was a very way better spinner than Adil Rashid in this case, in this
Hmm.
particular Champions Trophy.
Yeah.
They don't have the spinners to succeed in subcontinent. They have
But
till they
also, it's
had.
like England, right?
Mm,
They get comfortable too fast,
mhm.
right? They're like, okay, if this player hits a century once in like 10 matches, it's okay, we will have him. And they just keep them, because you don't see a lot of like cycles with England.
Hmm.
Like in terms of India, like we both could probably name like 10 players in the last like 2 to 3 years who played for India and now they're nowhere. Like,
Yeah.
uh,
So
meaning, they're not in any teams, not even India A or India
yeah,
B, right?
I- that's the curse, man. Now with India, now the problem is, okay, let's look at this, right? Instead of England, let's take New Zealand and India.
Hmm. Yeah.
New Zealand, a country of what, a population of 50 lakhs, just
Yeah,
5
probably
million.
Bangalore size. Yeah.
Yeah. um
No,
yeah,
sorry, less than Bangalore.
less
Yeah.
than Bangalore. It's just, yeah, put Indranagar, Koramangala, and all that nicer localities. Just, you don't
Yes.
need Hebbal or those, even Electronic City and all. Just
Nothing.
bring the old, the core
Yeah, yeah.
Bangalore, right?
That's it.
That's it. Now, how can they be at the IC? So look at their end of spectrum. They have only
Hmm.
120 active first class cricketers, like
Hmm.
professional cricketers who make
Yeah.
good some kind of a money from cricket. They
Hmm.
that's it. That's the end of their system, start and end.
Yeah.
Now, the moment they find a talent, they keep
Hmm.
it, they nurture
Yeah.
it, and they give them enough consistency, and they stick to the game plan.
Yeah.
That's why you see them, the New Zealand team only, other than the India team.
Hmm.
If you look at it, that you can see a lot of faces that were there in the 2019 World Cup and even now, like,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Because New Zealand, they don't have a choice, they have to play the same players.
Yeah. I think
India
the
on
coach
the,
admitted that, right?
yeah,
Like their coach said, we definitely have a very limited talent pool. It's not like, and he did say about India, like it's not like I can tap somebody and he's a great player. Like
exactly, yeah.
I need to invest on the same player again and again over years. And to be honest, New Zealand doesn't have a lot of failure or failed cricketers, right? Because of the reason, they were trusted on for years and years and years, right?
Yeah, they learn the art of international cricket in international cricket.
Yes.
For software engineers who are listening in, I would say that they learn their coding in production environment. um so what I would say. But look at the other spectrum, which is India, right? Oh, it's like Amazon now. Oh, give me a left armor, right? So okay, you want Shabaz Ahmed who can bat, you want an Akshar Patel, you want a Sai Kishore, you want a Ravindra Jadeja. Like, you just
Who
have
do you
like
want?
two,
Yeah.
everywhere you go you will find, oh, no, I want a Harpreet Brar. No, so it's just
Hmm.
so many out there that
Yeah.
you can get into a mode where you are giving only two or three chances and then
Yeah.
moving on. That's what
Hmm.
happened with India's infamous number 4 syndrome. Do you remember, like, for so many years leading up to 2019 World Cup, we did not have a number 4. We just
Yes.
played musical chairs. It's just that
Yeah.
because we had so many options, we just couldn't stick
Hmm.
to one person and trust that one person.
Yeah.
um yeah, I still feel Ambati Raidu should have made that World Cup, but anyway.
I think that's the same thing that's going to happen with Shreyas Iyer with Indian team. I feel so.
uh, l- i I have a contrary view, though. I think he is relatively set and he has proven himself
But I feel
enough.
like after this IPL season,
Oh yeah, we don't know.
right?
And that's why he's not in the T20 scheme of things, right? He's in the
Yeah,
ODI
yeah.
scheme. Or maybe, yeah, I was talking about ODIs
Hmm.
when I said that number 4. So in that context,
Yeah, yeah.
he's set in ODIs, and I think he has a decent, he had a short ball problem, he has sorted it out.
Yeah.
But T20, he's not there, and that's a surprising thing,
Hmm.
right? Look at the captains
Yeah.
who were paid so much. Look at Rahan. First, you had Rahane, you have
Yes.
Rajat Patidar, you have
Yes.
Shreyas Iyer, you have
Yeah.
Rishabh Pant, and including Rishabh Pant, no one are there in the T20 scheme of things.
Yeah.
These are your 18 crore. Rajat Patidar is still a really good buy at 12, but and Rahane is like, you
No,
got
but
him
in
for
terms of
pennies. But
captains, you're right,
yeah,
right? Like even Ruturaj is not anywhere.
Ruturaj is not
Like,
anywhere. Exactly. That's
yeah, so
a,
it's like it doesn't math is not mathing kind of thing it is,
yeah,
right?
but that's why I love the IPL, man. That
Hmm.
it just, you let the market decide. Sometimes
Yes.
the star players, they kind of, because of the brand value, you want to keep them, and it
Hmm.
muddles
I
that a
think
little bit.
I
But
think right now IPL is in a stage where there is like 3 or 4 tiers of
hmm,
stars. There is clearly a legendary tier, right? Where those people are untouchable. You cannot even talk about it. Like Rohit, Kohli,
Dhoni.
Dhoni. You cannot touch them, right? And that's what Dhoni said the other day, right? I would play cricket until CSK wants me to. Like they could drag me in a wheelchair, right? Like you cannot touch them. And that's the same with Kohli also, right? Like okay, let's say 3 seasons he won't perform. Would RCB dare to take out Kohli? I don't think so because their franchise would be over.
I don't know about
Like
their
literally
franchisee, but your
over.
podcast would be over, man. With RCB fans,
Definitely.
if you repeat
Yeah.
that again,
No,
I don't
what I'm
know.
trying to say is right. Like even
Just
if Kohli has very bad seasons, RCB cannot, like touch Kohli or his position.
yeah.
And I feel it's the same with Mumbai, and I think they're trying to do away with Rohit by replacing him with Sky and Pandey and Bumrah, right?
So
Bringing bigger names, right?
this is
But
how.
still, that tire is clearly untouchable,
Yeah.
right? And then there is one tire lower, right, where you are like, okay, these are international players or even domestic players who are established, right?
Yeah.
And they for example Sky, right? Like if Mumbai Indians, even if Sky is not playing well, they cannot drop him at this point of time, definitely,
Yeah. He's
right? And it's the same with
indispensable.
Hardik Pandya, right? It's the same with Bumrah. Like I think every team has one or two players whom we cannot drop at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Doesn't matter
think
how
that's
many
for your
bad seasons they have, but they're
right. And I think those are the only two tires where market doesn't matter, right? Like market's response.
okay.
Whereas younger, like example Gill, right? Imagine Gill has like two bad seasons.
Yeah, but you know what, Gil, just scrolling through the social media, so there is
Hmm.
a now a small that toxic fan club that you see for
Hmm.
Rohit versus Kohli things
Yeah,
it started, man, for Gil as well now. So I'm really
yeah.
scared.
You know
I hope
what
we
I
don't
feel
go that
about
way,
Gill?
but Mhm.
Gill, there is a saying that Edison was more successful because he had a better publicist. No, for any other personality
Yeah,
compared to Edison.
yeah,
Edison is seen as more successful because he had a better publicist. And I think
yeah.
with the modern cricket, that's the game. Like if you're not good at social media, if you're not good at marketing yourself, no matter how good of cricket you play, you just kind of fade away.
That has happened, man. And that is true. You could
Hmm.
see in that when that BCCI diktat happened, right? There's 10
Yeah.
rules set up for to curb the star
Mm.
player culture, and you could see the some of the commentators being very happy,
Yeah.
candidly, and admitting that how these social media hired warriors of they
Hmm.
do have these big PR teams.
Yes,
They
definitely.
make sure they go after anyone who says anything about them. It is
Hmm.
true. It is true to a very
Yeah.
large extent, and we need to move away from that, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah, that you cannot. You need stars,
Yes.
but you want the team for
Hmm.
IPL to be successful. You
Yes.
want to have that 10-year-old who's wearing that jersey for the first time. Yes, he will get connected to some of the stars, but he needs to stick to the jersey.
Yep.
Doesn't, because people are going to move, there are going to be auctions, and
Hmm.
auction is good. There are many
Yeah.
people who say auctions are the main reason why we see this equality. Otherwise you
Yes.
will just have the Ambanis and uh, the
Yeah.
others, yeah, big.
I mean, if they could, they would have like 11 all rounders.
Yeah, or they'll just buy off, just
No, like
you'll have
literally,
Jasprit
like,
Bumrah, Rashid Khan,
yeah.
and your best new ball bowler, everyone in the same
Yeah.
team.
Yes.
You'll have an all-star 11 built in if you were to go,
That's what. Like,
just
it's
like a
like, it
Manchester
would be
City.
like, it's like, do you remember there is like this meme going around like West Indies has like 15 all rounder players who are very good,
It seems like you
right?
have a thing for all-rounders, huh? Am I right?
Yes. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Because I myself am an all rounder. So I value all rounders. And that's like clearly the way future, the forwards, right? Because purists are very less and less now. Unless you are like generationally exceptional like Bumrah.
Yeah, it's
Because nobody
interesting. Okay.
expects Bumrah to show up and be like Sunil Narayan, right? They're like, you just ball your 4 overs. That's it. Like, don't worry much, right? You don't expect them to be good fielders. And this is a criticism I have for fast bowlers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Almost every spinner is expected to be a good fielder, right?
Yeah,
Not
Ravindra
pacers.
Jadeja has spoiled that community. I can say that.
Right? And yeah, definitely because of Jadeja, there is like all spinners need to be, because even if you look at Kuldeep,
Mm-hmm.
when he was dropped and when he came back, you could see the difference in his fielding,
Yeah, he's
right?
definitely way more fit.
But pacers are not expected to be athletic.
But the workload, man. I mean, for the
Hmm.
Pacers,
Yeah.
it's it is
But come
taxing,
on,
and also okay.
I don't think in T20 it's that taxing, like bowling 4 overs.
So there are two aspects, right? One is
Hmm.
the the effort that goes in delivering that ball, and what
Preparation.
it the
Hmm.
toll that it takes on your body. So there is a
Yeah.
reason why,
Hmm.
you will see Bumrah bowl a maximum of 6 overs or 7 overs. You cannot question the integrity of that man, right? He like
Yes.
literally bowled himself to almost death. He actually
Yep.
had to plead to Rohit Sharma, bhai nahi ho raha hai mere se.
No, you're right.
Like
Yes.
that's we heard it on the stump camp.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
but a spinner, an Anil Kumble or a Harbhajan Singh or a
Hmm.
Jadeja could bowl 20 overs,
Yes.
20 30 overs in a day, because it's
Uh-huh.
less taxing. That's one. And this number two, look at the physicality of it, right? Fast bowlers
Hmm.
have to be a certain height. Like take don't call Maling. Let's take keep Malinga, the Pathiranas,
The
the outliers,
exceptions.
these
Yeah.
exceptional prodigies out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But traditionally, right, you have your Mitchell
Yes.
Stark, you have your Josh Hazelwood, Pat Cummins.
Mm.
In
You
India,
have your
even
Ishant Sharma.
Ishant Sharma, even like
Yeah.
Bumrah and Shami are decent sized
Height. Yeah. Yeah.
height men compared to our batters.
Correct.
So that body also, it's not built for the kind of athleticism that a Parthiv Patel or a Ravindra Jadeja can easily pull off. So
Yeah.
I won't. They need. Yeah, they've become
No,
better.
no.
I'm
What
happy
I'm
for
trying to
them,
say is,
but
it's like there is clearly very less expectations of fielding from a pace bowler,
yeah, it does
and
seem.
most teams hide those players in like deep leg or
Yeah,
like.
yeah, the leg, right? The leg part. That's one thing that sometimes does annoy me when you are being paid. What, like, remember Mitchell Stark last year, and like when you are
No,
paid so much,
even in
don't stop
yesterday's
the ball with your
match.
leg. Like,
Yeah. No, even in yesterday's match, there was a four in the leg, and Stark was there, right? Any other player, it was like a clear, like, why wouldn't you stop it, right? But he couldn't dive. Of course, he's kind of old and stuff, but it's like any other player,
yeah,
they wouldn't
he
like let them be,
yeah,
right?
his family won't be proud of him for sure, because right? So Stark's wife is a World Cup winning
Yeah.
captain or player. I need to be
Player,
clear. Player.
yeah, player,
His
yeah.
brother Brandon's No, Brandon Stark was your the North remembers Game of Thrones guy, but I think his name is also
Oh my
Brad
god.
Stark or something. But
Yes.
um, it's one of those names. I'm sorry
Hmm.
if I'm not taking, but he's an Olympian, so
Yeah.
he does come from like he has these
Athletic
athletes
background.
around him. So I know they won't be very proud of
They're like,
him.
just dive, dude.
Yeah,
Just dive.
I don't know, man. 6 foot, what? He's 6 foot 6 inch
Hmm.
frame.
Hmm.
Um, Diving and see, okay, let's put it this way. Would you rather give up the 2 runs there,
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
would you want to see your premium fast bowler get injured while diving?
Yeah.
The guy who won KKR the IPL finals by himself,
But
like
like,
closed it in power play.
yeah, but you also see Hardik Pandya doing those things.
Again, Hardik Pandya is less.
I would say in the modern era, he is like, um undebatably the best finisher post
Easy.
2020.
He has the potential, but I
He,
think,
yeah, because even if you look at like last two to three ICC events, he was that clutch person in the end,
yeah.
both with bat and ball.
No, he okay, in India colors,
Yeah.
he is a he is a very rare commodity. Let's start from that.
Yes.
A,
Yeah.
a bowler who can give you now in the 2026 World Cup as well, right? A bowler who can bowl at 140,
Yes.
decent enough,
Hmm.
and a finisher of the top tier, like,
Yes,
your Josh
exactly.
Butler in his prime,
Hmm.
kind of a
Yeah.
finisher, is you don't find that, especially
Yeah.
in India. you,
Yes.
you don't find that. So he is a very, very rare commodity, and I'm actually glad that they kept him out of
I
Test
think.
cricket.
Yeah, I
And
think he's like the better version of Ben Stokes.
now I know you want to make these controversial, these
I am
things,
here
but
for it, man. I am
yeah.
here for it. Because
um
you look at Ben Stokes, he was not that successful in IPL.
there was one season where he was successful, but overall he
That's
was
it.
overrated. I agree. Like,
Yeah.
he was paid for 16 crores for CSK, and did he even turn out for a single
16.5.
game? I doubt.
No.
Two seasons ago.
He was not even there for like 7 8
Yeah,
matches.
except for two seasons, one for RR when he was also like promoted to open, but it was a
Hmm.
struggle with him to get the best out of him. And there was one season with Rising Pune Warriors, if I'm right, in when
Yes,
Dhoni had
Rising
also
Pune
moved
Super
there.
Giants. Yeah.
He was a man of the series, if I'm right,
Hmm.
a player of the tournament kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, other than that, I agree. But you can't just judge them on IPL, right? Look at what he has done for England. His
Hmm.
captaincy, his impact in the Test team,
But
man.
no cups though.
2019 World Cup, 2022
Yeah,
World
but
Cup.
Hardik has more than that.
Hardik doesn't have a ODI World Cup yet.
Yeah,
He just
true.
has one.
We'll get it. We'll get it.
Yeah. I, but no, you know what? I feel,
Yeah.
yeah, in IPL, yes, Hardik
Hmm.
Pandya is there
Hmm.
above
Yeah.
Ben Stokes, but
No, but in
come
terms
at
of
it.
finishing, in terms of just finishing
Oh,
the game,
yeah. Ben Stokes is not your marquee
finisher.
finisher
Yeah,
in
that's
T20.
that's what I mean.
In
Because
T20.
Ben
Yeah.
Stokes offers a very stable platform when he's batting, right? And he can
Yeah.
control tight overs when he's bowling,
But
right?
we should be
But
comparing Hardik Pandya with then Andrew Russell, right? That's
yeah,
the if you're talking about
yes,
T20 and
exactly.
IPL,
Yeah, Russell.
then you
Yep.
have to compare him with Russell. But okay, here is a
Hmm.
problem, man. Russell and Hardik. Now, are you going to compare them on 2024,
Hmm. Hmm.
2025, or are you going to
Yeah.
compare them in 2015 or 2017? Because if you look at
All I
the
care about is all I care about is that 2026.
okay 2020, so we'll wait and
Like I
see,
don't I
right?
don't I don't want Russell in 26.
You okay? You don't
For
want Russell. You
what
want
I mean is playing for West Indies. I just don't want him.
that kind of
Anyway, they're
gives
not playing
away
anymore, right?
that kind of gives away your verdict, man. Then, like, you are
Yeah,
more scared of Russell than. So are you
I wouldn't
okay?
say
Here's a
scared,
mhm.
but I would say if Russell went to West Indies, that means they started paying their players,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, West Indies
Because he
board.
was the first person to say, like they don't pay us fairly,
Yeah,
so we won't go and play there.
yeah,
So
him.
if Russell is back there, I would definitely be scared of West Indies.
Okay, so here's a question, and it's not a hypothetical question actually. Like, as an Indian fan, are you more scared of Russell? Uh, let's say 20 balls, T20 26 World Cup, say a
Hmm.
semi-finals, just like your
Hmm.
20. Remember 2016 World Cup? It was Russell, man, who knocked
Yeah,
us out. West Indies taught us that sixes matter, are the only
matter.
things
Yeah,
that matter in that semi-finals, that fateful day at Wankhede. Um,
yeah.
but
Or
say 2026 World Cup. So Russell,
yeah.
are you scared of Russell
Hmm.
as an Indian fan, or is a
Hmm.
West Indian fan or
Hmm.
any other fan more scared
Hmm.
of Hardik Pandya?
I would say the other way. They would definitely be scared of Hardik.
Now you're saying to say in 2026
No, no, in 2026, definitely.
could be, yeah, Hardik Pandya.
Because I think Hardik has an advantage because he's a baller batsman.
So is Russell, right? He
No,
does.
but no, no. But what I'm saying is, in recent times, Russell has become more of a batsman baller,
I agree. Like, if
right?
he were to be injured and
Yeah.
he were to say to KKR that I can do only one thing, they'll like just focus on your batting,
Yes.
will super sub you or
Correct.
impact sub
No,
you.
because and it's very
Yeah.
apparent they have made his overs less crucial. Like they understand, okay, workload is a thing, right? So let's manage him better, right? Whereas Hardik is like, I can bet, if he comes back in the next match, he will be bowling death overs probably.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
And also he's a captain,
I don't think they'll
right?
risk him with death overs anyways. But by the way, that's a very important
Hmm.
point. So first, two things. Let's clear it out. Now, Hardik Pandya as a finisher versus Russell finisher.
Yeah.
So, what's the verdict there? You're saying Hardik Pandya, people will be
So
just as a batsman.
I would say just as a pure batsman, Russell would be like way up than Hardik, just because of his power.
Russell would see. Okay, that's what I
Yeah,
want.
Russell would
I
definitely outrank Pandya in batting because Russell's edges, go go across the boundary.
yeah. Yeah, I know. As an SRH fan, I
Yeah,
know how painful it is to watch Russell batter, badger, whatever the word is,
yeah,
Bhuvneshwar Kumar, your top bowler, all these years
yes.
for like 25 runs with hardly any sweat,
For like,
without
it's like
dropping a
time
sweat. Yeah.
pass, right?
Sorry.
For him,
Is
it's
that?
like time pass. Like I
Yeah,
just
yeah. He just eats SRH bowlers
yeah,
and
that's what
Bhuvneshwar
I
Kumar.
like about Russell, right? Whenever he's in his zone, he's very like calm. Like, he hits a six, he's like, yeah, like, yeah, it's a six, like.
Yeah,
Whereas a lot of players get excited when they hit six, or at least they smile, they laugh. He's like, like, yeah, it's a six, like.
yeah. I know. Yeah, there's no, but isn't it for everyone now? Like the value of
Mhm.
the six,
Yeah.
hasn't it like completely diminished
No,
compared
but
to?
like the distance that he hits,
There is a value
right?
for those big sixes that go into the,
Do you
way
remember?
back into the stands. But my
Yeah, Gavaskar was saying, they should start giving 7 and 8 runs because of
Gavaskar will
the
say anything, man. Like
yeah,
he will say anything, quote unquote, stupid.
yeah.
So
But
yeah, he's.
like I feel like because okay, are you aware of these recent commentary controversies that's happening?
I know
Like
some of
they
them, but
dropped
go ahead.
Irfan Pathan now.
Yeah, I heard that he
Um,
got booted out of Star
yeah,
Sports team.
comment. Yeah, because
And
they said
I don't
his
know the
his views
details,
were
but
very personal. Like it's not professional. I'm like, I don't know what that means.
yeah, I am guilty of not entirely following that because I didn't know how
Mhm.
true the rumors are or what has actually
Yeah,
happened.
yeah, definitely.
And just the IPL
No,
came
but
upon so quickly.
even because you brought up Gavaskar, you remember he made a remark on Kohli, like during lockdown.
You mean the Anushka remark, and
Yes,
then he
yes, yeah,
got the
yeah,
slap from off through her Instagram post, and yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, he was.
So what I feel like commentators are wild people. Like just agree on that, right? Because they are probably more pumped than the players.
Okay, go ahead.
Because because Virat Kohli or any player for that matter,
Hmm.
when they are in high intensity, they do say bad words and quite loudly sometimes,
The players you're
right?
saying,
Yeah,
yeah.
almost all players curse all the time,
Of
right?
okay, fair
Right,
enough.
and the commentator is doing that job, right, of commentating. And he or she is also in the you know like thick of things, right? So they are in the moment, but they are of course expected to be in a higher or use better language, right?
Okay, so
So
what's their
mistakes do
theory?
happen. Like people are spontaneous, you can't do much about it. And what I fear is, if we start censoring commentators, right, there will be a position when IPL will be like NASCAR commentary. Like people literally put it as ASMR and sleep. Like it's not wild anymore. It's like very tamed. It's very like you know
Yeah,
less controversial. Like that's not fun,
yeah, right. Um,
right?
I okay. So you touched upon a couple of things, right? The commentators in itself. I think,
Hmm.
unfortunately, in Indian context,
Hmm.
the commentators themselves are a subservient to the players. Like players are ruling the
Yep.
roost.
Yep.
um, and there are two three facets to all of this. The first thing that comes to mind is Manjrekar's comment on the bits and pieces in the 2019 World Cup to Ravindra Jadeja, and
Yes.
Jadeja putting the tweet, and yeah, that almost killed Manjrekar's career. It did actually created a big
Yes.
controversy. He was almost out. Now you have these players who have become commentators, and then
Yes.
there are these professional broadcasters who are
Hmm.
there. So first, let me address this player to commentator. You are so right. Commentators should be given the freedom to say anything. unfortunately, I think the conflict of interest comes from this whole broadcasters, right?
Yes.
They have, if the commentator says something, again, a very, very, I would say, if a historian were to write something on this, they will definitely have a chapter on Harsha Bhogle, Amitabh Bachchan, and the Dhoni controversy that happened in 2016 World Cup. Do you remember during one of those matches, Amitabh Bachchan tweeted that I sometimes feel the Indian commentators are not even supporting Indian team and they are like against Indian team. They are
Hmm.
supposed to be neutral, dude. That's
Yeah.
their job. And come on, Harsh, and you're seriously like saying Harsha Bhogle. I'll be very honest. I'm a Harsha Bhogle fanboy. Um, so I'll call that out. But I'm pretty sure your listeners would have heard Harsha Bhogle, and if they're still sticking with us after so long, like we're discussing so
Yeah.
many
They're
things
definitely
randomly,
sticking. Yeah.
then they would know how professional he is. And
Hmm.
they took out his contract because Dhoni kind of
Yeah.
retweeted that and said, "Yeah, that's
Hmm.
true." Just
Yeah.
with Dhoni saying
No, I
that,
think.
they got him out of the
Um,
team, Star Sports. Of course, he's back now as a, in a different avatar, but that actually
mhm.
helped him to discover himself and do this whole Crick Buzz jig. So there shouldn't be any censorship. Period.
Mhm.
They are
Yeah.
professionals. They know their game. That's one. And the
Mhm.
second part I feel is this whole in uh, almost like a unwritten rule that you have to be like a former cricketer to be a commentator. I think
Mhm.
that is wrong. Look at football, man. Who is commentating your
Which football?
sorry, yeah, sorry, not the Western Hemisphere's football, the
The
soccer.
American football.
No,
Okay, the
the soccer.
soccer. Got it.
Look at your EPL matches.
Mhm.
How awesome the quality of commentary is, how
Mhm.
awesome it was, the commentator, whoever saw the FIFA World Cup finals when the teams were coming
Yes.
out of the tunnel in the
Mhm.
Qatar 2022 World Cup. He's
Yep.
like, from the Andes to the, these mountains, from
Correct.
this river
Yeah.
to the Rhine, the world wants only
Mhm.
one man, Messi, to hold up. The world beckons
Was that
him. And
Peter Drury? I don't remember the
Drury, he is.
commentator's
Thank
name.
you.
Yeah.
Thanks for putting it. But
Yeah.
that cannot come from a professional cricketer. That will come from
Yeah.
a seasonal broadcaster. You could see the difference when
Mhm.
Harsha Bhogle speaks and not so seasonal. Yeah, some of them are really good. I would say like Nasser Hussain is one of my favorite
But he's
comment.
very biased though. Like absolutely biased to hell.
Nasser Hussain.
Yeah,
If,
yeah.
if you are a Sunny G fanboy,
No,
or
no, because
then you will
it
think
seems
so.
like who whichever board pays him more, he leans towards that.
I think he's very critical of BCCI, and I don't think the Indians appreciate that, or he speaks the
Yeah.
truth. But
No, but he's not as critical to like Australians or other countries
I doubt, especially.
compared to
So,
Indians
okay, are you
because the
saying that
remarks
an
he has made.
Englishman is not
Uh-huh.
that critical to an Aussie? So that would be
No,
a
what
very
I'm saying is, if you look at his controversial remarks, just controversial ones, it's
okay.
heavily leaned against India.
No, I think he made the recent. I think we are probably referring to the one that he made on the Dubai being a significant advantage for India. India playing
No,
all
no,
their
no,
matches
no.
in Dubai
I'm
in
I'm talking
Champions
about
Trophy.
the 2010 and 2011 era.
Okay. I can't
Yeah,
remember. Maybe you may have to recheck my memory on.
that's okay.
Uh,
So yeah, because yeah, I think I agree with in terms of commentary, right? But I feel like like there is this belief with cricketers, like you can talk about cricket if you are a cricketer. Like
yeah.
that's the kind whole of like that's a whole kind of vibe that all even Geo is going towards now
Yeah. Every.
because they brought in Ambati Raidu to do Hindi commentary.
Yeah. That's. Yeah.
He clearly struggles speaking Hindi,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
That's.
like just put him in his because we have for all languages we have commentary now
Hmm.
because there are Kannada commentators and they stick to Kannada, like they're not being forced to go and speaking Hindi because they clearly not do better, right? And when like Navjot Singh Sidhu is there as a commentator and they pair Navjot Singh Sidhu with Ambati Raidu, like a guy who doesn't shut up at all and a guy who's struggling to speak, like that's not going to work.
Yeah, yeah, but I think he came to limelight in his commentary stint when he spoke about RCB. If you remember,
Yeah,
there's a very
against RCB.
yeah, against RCB. He said, I'll tell you why RCB loses. It's because they
Yes.
just expect their finishers to do the job that
Mhm.
their top order, something like that. I remember
Yeah,
him
yeah.
being
No,
very
he said
critical, and I
that
think he's
their
there
whole
for
team
that
revolves
reason.
around like three people, and they always expect those three people to perform every day, and that's why they feel. That's what he said.
Yeah, they don't invest in finishers much,
Correct. Yeah.
something like that. But you're right, he's there to make that controversial and speak his mind, but you are
Yeah.
right, he is not your seasonal Hindi
Mhm.
speaker. Why can't you have somebody
Exactly.
with a good Hindi vocabulary? Like there must be a
Yes.
Harsha Bogle Hindi version
No, there was
person.
RP Singh,
Mm-hmm.
right, who was doing good commentary in Hindi.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's not there. He was replaced with Irfan Pathan, and it's like, what? What I feel, they're trying to create like a playing 11 within commentary. They have a spinner, they have a pacer, they have the Navjot Singh Sidhu as a batsman, they have Ambati Rayudu as a batsman. It's like, they're trying to replicate all, I would say, departments of cricket.
Yeah, end of the day, what is a commentator's job? His job is to tell the story. Like people can see what is happening there, right? If
Yes,
it's not
clearly.
radio anymore, where you have to
Yeah.
describe that, oh, outside the off stump and he nicks the ball and the keeper catches, and yeah, you don't need that. You want to know the next layer. Why did he
Mhm.
bowl outside off stump? Can you talk about
Yes.
that? I think that's what we are here for.
Yeah.
That is still lacking, and I don't know about the 11, but they are there for the whoever gives keeps the engagement going. Isn't that the number
Yes.
that they
No,
you see
definitely.
those views? They don't want to see the views to drop. Whichever
Yeah.
commentator is going to keep them hooked, whether it's Navjot Sidhu with his Sidhuisms or Ambati
Yes.
Raidu criticizing RCB no holds
You
barred.
know what? To be honest, like Navjot Singh Sidhu is probably the best commentator in Hindi towards the end of the game,
Oh, are you okay?
because all others talk cricket. He
Okay,
does
there you,
not.
yeah, there you. I knew you had a pun somewhere, but yeah, he's
He does not talk cricket. But for an average person, right, like my girlfriend, right, like she doesn't give a shit about cricket. So she's like, but she's entertained because of his speech. Because an average person, like not an avid cricketer, would say, yeah, you know what, like, um, I don't understand what's going on,
Mhm.
right? but Navjot Singh Sidhu kinds of hooks you in and keeps you there, right? Because he's saying so many things, and you're like, what's happening? Like it's like he's like the perfect hype man for like 18 to 20 over, like that period in IPL,
Yeah, but he's
but not so good with international ones, where you
yeah.
need a little bit more
I
seriousness and commitment to talking to cricket.
Interesting that you say that because IPL, I think so. If you take a proportion of how much entertainment are you going to fuse with actual cricket,
Yeah.
I see it for cricket, but there is a
Yeah.
huge crowd that sees it for entertainment, and there is a reason why players play and pay entertainment tax for a reason,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
sports essentially is entertainment.
It's a
Now, at
circus.
what extent do you? Sorry, you say
I said it's just a circus, right?
it's a
It is
yeah,
circus
it's the end of the
because
day.
it's a form of entertainment. Yeah.
I'll tell you when it becomes a circus. When the proportion of entertainment seeds,
Hmm.
oh, kind of overtakes the percentage of
Hmm.
cricket. That's when it enters circus.
Yeah.
2010, in the Lalit Modi era, remember there used to be this after parties, like IPL after
Yes.
parties and coverage around that. The
Yeah.
players are forced to stay up late till 4 a.m. so that after the game they
Hmm.
can go to this after party. For
Yeah. I
what?
have a small opinion about this. Be- You know, I think IPL is a circus until the day when a six is hit, they show the cheerleaders before the highlights.
True. Yeah.
Like I think that's like the most micro version of looking at it.
I can't
Like
deny that.
if you're truly a cricketer,
Yeah.
show me the damn highlight. I want to see how smooth was that shot.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't want to see people dancing.
Yeah, why do we need those? Actually, it's very shocking, man. We are in this liberal
And it's not
cancel.
only IPL though. It's like every almost all leagues do that, right? Even BBL does that. So it's like I mean I don't want to talk about BBL because that's a whole different story of monkeys and circuses. But
Yeah,
um, you know, like I'm if it's actually cricket and not entertainment, then
yeah,
show us actual cricket.
yeah. I always feel like I compare. I want IPL to be hopefully before I die
Hmm.
in the strata of EPL, man, where you have these people who were born after the Gen Alpha, right? People who born after 2010, if I'm right, who only saw IPL as their main, who associate
Yes.
themselves with, say, a Mumbai Indians more than even Team India,
Mm-hmm.
and they grow up and they hold on to the jerseys, so they want to see the matches, they want to see cricket at the it will, I think it will collapse if they infuse more entertainment, because that will just, okay, let's take the example of you and your girlfriend now. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
uh the reason why your girlfriend was able to even give an opinion about Sidhu on how he's
Mm-hmm.
keeping her engaged
Yeah.
better than a seasonal cricket commentator is because you switched on IPL and TV.
Exactly. Yeah.
Only when you are a person who cares about cricket are you going to see the, you're going to see the guy who controls the remote must be
Mm-hmm.
a cricket fan.
Yeah.
If my mom will never watch IPL if I'm not there,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because she's not the cricket
Mm-hmm.
fan. I am the cricket fan. So if you take out the cricket and you put more entertainment, and if you lose the cricket fans, they
Nothing
are not
exists.
going to switch on the TV, which is going to bring
Yeah.
four more
Again, it's
eyeballs.
like NASCAR, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're saying exactly happened to NASCAR,
Mm-hmm.
right? They brought in all these rules. They brought in like ton of regulations because a person, even if it's ironic, like a person watches NASCAR because there is mayhem, there is destruction,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
And there is intense racing. And when rules try to kind of like curb that, then the sport loses its charm.
Yeah. The sport end of the day has to be at the center
Sport.
of
Yep.
everything. And you have to keep the
Exactly.
entertainment part to the peripherals. You have to
Yeah.
create an economy that the sport runs by itself and not
Hmm.
dependent on all these other
No, and
funky
also I
factors.
feel like cricket has enough soul
Mm-hmm.
in itself, right,
Yeah.
to retain you for 5 days. Like no other sports in the world does that. Maybe baseball, but no other sport
Yeah. Not for
like
five
lasts for
days. It's
five
across
days.
different matches. It's not the same
Yeah,
match. It,
exactly.
yeah. Golf,
Right.
maybe. I don't
But
know
with
sometimes.
cricket, yeah, but with cricket, it's like 22 people are on the ground. There is two umpires standing
Yeah.
there for 5 days
Yeah.
playing the same match.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So if that can survive even in the modern era, because right now test cricket is in demand, T20 is clearly in demand, and ODI is slowly fading away,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's
True.
the modern verdict. So it's like, so it's clear that sport, the cricket as a sport has enough soul, right, to keep you engaged,
Mm-hmm.
right, for
True.
5 days. Then let's probably bring down the entertainment part,
I'm all in for that, man.
right?
I hate to see the, yeah, the sight of the cheerleaders. Actually, there's other funny thing. Did you observe, or the listeners would definitely resonate with this as well? Um, when you are watching an India international match, say take example this Champions Trophy, you are just seeing the cameraman only focuses on the woman of
Beautiful
certain
women.
age, because
Yes.
they know the people who are watching are these grown ass men of,
Yeah.
the 25, because ODIs are not very appealing to children. So it's just men who are the main market. So yeah, just that's what. So I feel sometimes the
Yeah.
broadcaster himself is uh, demeaning and underestimating the power of the
Yeah.
cricket fan. And you are
Hmm.
right. The cricket fan would love to see more analysis, would love to
Yeah.
hear more analysis. I
Hmm.
don't think we were brought up in the Sachin era, we love our cricket, right? We just
Yes.
see what we want to see, the battle between bat and ball.
Yeah.
And
But do you also remember when we were kids and when there was like a break between over, and if there was no like advertisement which was running, they would just leave the camera on the players. Like, you know, and that was more interesting, right? Because then an average cricketer gets to find out what do cricketers do, right, between the breaks. Like, which is so interesting, right? But now, even in like crucial, like fucking like, like 18 runs, like 5 balls, and they're still showing crowd, like crowd meaning, particular people.
yeah, that's just women of certain age,
Yeah,
because that's what they, yeah, it's,
maybe at like 22nd, 25th over, you could do that, but not in like the final moments of the
I
match.
think it's demeaning even in the 25th over. In IPL, I
Exactly.
think the cameramen are a little more subtle in terms of that. It's
Self-regulating.
not that openly, just the,
Yeah.
it's not as vulgar as it is, that you can
Hmm.
almost like see it, that that's what the cameraman is
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
um
No, because that doesn't happen in football, right? Like there are more dull moments in football. Like, there is just like ball being passed around sometimes, and they're just trying to waste time, like burn time.
yeah,
And even then they don't do that.
yeah,
And like cricket is like the perfect commercial,
yeah.
right? Because it's like 6 balls and done, six
It's
balls
the,
and done.
can I say it's the equivalent of having an item song in between a really good movie. The movie has the backbone to carry it by itself, but you just
Yes.
want that something to, because you think the guy
Assurance.
in
Yeah.
UP Bihar is just there in that, is there to watch
Mm-hmm.
a Bipasha Basu dance to the tunes of some vulgar song, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost
Yeah.
equivalent to, I okay, for all the testosterone that I have, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I would get more, it's like, I'm saying that as a guy,
Mm-hmm.
I, I'm not there to watch cricket to see, just
Women.
women out there that the
Yeah.
cameraman is trying to,
Mm-hmm.
cameraman thinks that I'm here for, or that's
Yeah.
what is going to keep me hooked to the cricket.
Mm-hmm.
I will get more joy if I see a father and a son celebrate a six.
Mm-hmm.
You can show that, right? There are more
Yeah.
interesting people than just objectifying. It's offensive to the cricket fan, it's offensive
Yeah.
to the woman whom you are showing, because you don't
Mm-hmm.
actually care about the reaction, you're just showing because they belong to
Yeah.
the certain
No,
demographic.
but also it's offensive towards those people whom you think you are serving.
Exactly, yeah, the good old men, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
And good old
offensive,
man.
man.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, because no part of India is like that, right?
Yeah,
No, to be honest, right? When you compare to other countries, no part of India is that vulgar. Like where they're just like fucking, like a ball, a woman, a ball, a woman, right?
yeah, it's,
Like,
yeah, it's, yeah, it just
and
exposes
it's like
itself.
spoon feeding, right? It's like spoon feeding
Yeah.
because an average audience doesn't want it, but they don't have any other choice.
There are 40,000 people in the stadium. There are surely more entertaining ways of. Have you seen those YouTube videos where there is a stare down
The
contest between
T20
the
Cup.
little boy and
y-
the cameraman
Yeah,
and
yeah,
those
yeah,
viral
yeah. That
videos?
doesn't happen in cricket, though.
You do the, on the
No,
screen, you do the lookalikes, like doppelgangers.
yes,
You identify
yeah.
them in the crowd.
No, but honestly, in cricket, you don't have that much of time, right? Because it's just jammed with ads and ads and ads. So it's like this. Even in the T20 that we just won, the World Cup, and even in like the last 2 balls, they were still showing people. Dude, it's like the last 2 balls. We might just win the World Cup. How about you show me the second curse is coming? Like show me the fucking cricket.
Yeah, but if there is
Like
a
at
guy,
least at least 2 balls. Come on.
yeah, yeah, last two balls, you better focus on the player. But I do understand when they show the, see,
No, no, no.
again, I'm,
What I'm trying to say is they are not showing crowd. They're showing particular people, like fully zoomed in. I'm like, can we at least stop now? Like building a catalog of people.
yeah. Yeah, I'm with you when it comes to the last two balls, but
Yeah.
I think you're right. On the 20, in the 25th or 26th over, it's fine. Like show, but show, there is way more color to the audience. There's way more
Yeah.
diversity to the audience. So
So, Ram, how I would put it? I would say there are certain people who are putting more effort. They are painting themselves, right?
fair
They have
enough.
some placards.
Yeah,
Like there are people who are actually putting effort to be seen on TV. Could we please show them,
fair enough. Fair game. We can, yeah, that's a good checkpoint
right?
on that topic.
Like if I was a TV director, that's what I would say. I would say, can we show people who are actually putting effort and actually are here to watch cricket,
Yeah, I can't deny that. I'm all in for
right?
that. Anything but what is happening right now. Yes, let's put it. Yeah,
Yes, anything. Yeah,
has to
literally
be
anything
better.
but whatever the fuck's going on right now, which is not serving anybody,
True. So true.
right? So yeah, finally, what's your predictions? Let's talk predictions now.
Predictions for
So
the IPL.
CSK versus RCB, who wins? I mean, of course, yeah, who wins? CSK versus RCB.
So I think the match is at Chepok, right? So you will have
Yeah,
to put your money on CSK. But just the spin brigade that they have, man. Ashwin, Jadeja, and Noor Ahmed.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, they have this 12 to, and if they bring in Rachin Ravindra, another 2 3, like
yeah,
they
and
have
also Patirana.
Pathirana. Yes, he's your Malinga's new avatar,
Yeah,
right?
you know what I feel like in CSK. I feel like I definitely Khalil Ahmed is the scapegoat. Like every team will want to go against him.
Yeah, but he delivers, man. And I don't
No,
know if
no,
Pathirana is
because
even there though, but
no. When I'm saying when he is
mhm,
back, people will definitely target Khalil.
yeah. And there is a very vast difference between Khalil in day matches and the night matches. That's what my podcast partner educated me on. Luckily, all the IPL, most of the IPL games are night matches, so he does
Hmm.
some. And again, somehow, man, I don't know how this whole something infects people when they wear yellow, right?
Yeah,
Even a
yeah,
Khalil Ahmed who will get battered in Delhi colors, and yeah, including you, but they just turn out to be this whole different person in yellow. Uh,
yeah.
but yeah,
That's
I
why I
think it has
believe
to be
if
CSK a very strong favorite
yeah,
going
that's
into
why I
it.
believe if somebody is having a lot of bad luck, just wear a yellow jersey, man.
Yeah, yeah, I
Right? Because like Shivam Dubey,
yeah,
like
great example. Yeah.
right, like who was he?
Yeah, he ended up being for the India
Yeah.
team for 2024
Yes.
World Cup. Just thanks
Hmm.
to CSK. Dude, one more season and probably Rane would have turned up in the T20 squad. You
Yes.
never know. Uh, Look what they have done with him, man. This guy has become a
Yeah.
20 ball 50 hitting,
Hmm.
little
Even if you
monster.
look at Moin Ali, right? Moin Ali would not have survived in any other team. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
about it.
Moeen Ali,
Definitely
Mohit
not.
Sharma.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Even
huge
Deepak Chahar,
Deepak Chahar. Yeah, but the
like
verdict
he's
is.
constantly injured.
Yeah, but we'll have to see him how he does in for Mumbai now before passing the verdict,
Yeah.
though. But you're right; it's
Mhm.
they have this
No, I mean
magic
he's a
wand.
very good cricketer, but it's like he's injured a lot of times,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You
And I think that's the one thing acting against him going to India, like playing for India.
He is actually a rare commodity because
Yeah.
he's a pakka new ball bowler
Mhm.
who can bat at 8. Like we don't have
Yes.
fast bowlers who can bat in
Bat.
in
Yeah.
in for India, which is such a
Mhm.
shame. That's the one thing that the our Indian Amazon catalog does not have.
Does not have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that you don't have
But just
the Pat
remember,
Cummins, Marco
uh
Jansen kind of
yes.
six hitting fast bowlers, right?
Mhm.
You have to
Yeah,
rely on
very
a
rare.
Bumrah to do that as well.
That
And
too against a particular gentleman.
yeah,
That too in a test match.
yeah. In a test match, yeah. What a innings
Yes.
that was at Gabba. And okay, but Bumrah, do you still think
Yeah.
he's probably the where would you rate him on the echelons of Indian cricket? I'm talking about the Nawab of Patodi, Sunny
Uh,
Gavaskar, the
yeah.
Sachin, Kohli.
Yeah, I would say
Like
he's the
where is
greatest baller to ever step foot. Period. Like international beat any country.
okay? Wait, well, first let's sort. Okay, you are going way beyond India now.
So
You're saying
no,
forget India.
what I'm trying to say is, yeah, forget India. Like anybody who has ever stepped foot on, you know, the cricket ground, he's the greatest baller. Period. You know why? You know why? I will tell you. People say there was Marshall and like Ambrose, they were legends, right? But even if you look at Shoaib Akhtar kind of person, and if you look at the number of overs that they have bowled,
Hmm.
okay, and then you say, okay, the number of overs they have bowled and the number of wickets they have taken,
Yeah.
were they effective or is Bumrah effective?
You mean the strike rate, right? Yeah, he has one of the,
Yeah,
if
so
not the
it's
best
like,
strike
and
rate.
also Bumrah is very brutal in terms of bowling. Like, no team has a set plan against Bumrah. That's what I've seen.
Yeah.
And people who try to plan against Bumrah often fail because he's just like Ravichandran Ashwin in his prime, right? Like, you cannot plan against him because he's constantly like doing weird stuff that nobody's expecting,
Yeah. And he
right?
will learn new
Like,
things. Like while going back
yeah.
home, he will bring in a new delivery. But you're right, Bumrah. Okay, huge statement for a
Hmm.
avid cricket analyst and a fan to just throwing there. Okay, Bumrah all time. Now suddenly, like my head is
Yeah.
now all over the place. But let me just think through this. Okay,
Hmm.
Wasim Akram,
Yeah.
Shane Warne,
Hmm.
right? Muthaiya
Yeah.
Muralidharan, Mr. 800.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then yeah, you have your
Sure.
Malcolm Marshalls and Joel
Yes.
Garner, who unfortunately I didn't see them live, but my dad still pees in his sleep when he thinks
Hmm.
about those ballers. Um,
Yeah.
uh, okay, and again, India, you just discarded. That's fine. Anil Kumble, will leave
Yeah.
him aside. He's tier
Yeah.
two
Leave
now
everybody else. Yeah.
in this game. But let's just come back. Okay, Wasim Akram.
Uh-huh.
He won the 1992 World Cup for them, like not single-handedly, but yeah, that impact. So Bumrah has done the same.
Hmm. Yeah.
2024 World Cup,
Hmm.
five overs, 30 runs to win. So he's won
Hmm.
that trophy.
Okay.
But
Let
you are
me
right.
put it
Yeah,
in this
he
context, right?
arguably maybe yeah,
There,
it's not.
even Wasim Akram, even Shoaib Akhtar, even Muthaiya Muralidharan, there were people in their careers who stood up to them, right?
Mhm.
Like, do you remember when Dhoni hit Shoaib Akhtar very badly, right?
Hmm.
And Wasim Akram, the Sachin Tendulkar. Like, I don't see anybody stepping up to Bumrah and
That's
saying, you know what, I can take you on every time and like hit you like left and right. That
that's
just doesn't happen.
yeah.
And considering the whole cricket game is heavily lenient in the modern cricket towards a batsman, right? Because the Wasim Akrams and the Shoaib Akhtars or even the Malcolms, their generation did
Yeah,
not
let's
play
not
with two
mention Shoaib
balls.
Akhtar again. Then nobody will take us seriously. Like,
Seriously.
yeah, let's
Yeah,
not put him in
definitely.
that genre
No,
unless.
but what I'm trying to say is he was a force to reckon with, right? For a lot of years, he was like the
Yeah,
anchor for
for
Pakistan.
2 3 years still,
So,
Sachin,
yeah.
yeah, hit him for
So,
that
no, what
famous
I'm trying to
six.
say is all of those ballers did not have to ball with two balls, right? Did not have to play with power plays and
Yeah,
freaking boundary rules,
yeah.
right?
Not they didn't play three formats.
Yeah, that's what. So there was no boundary rules like like T20 shorter boundaries, test bigger. There was nothing of that sort, right? And there was also not this level of batting technology. I am telling you because I recently saw. I went to the showroom and I saw a 4.5 lakh rupee bat. So that's for like a Ranji player, and the bat I have and the bat that is like I could probably look like Chris Gale if with that bat, or even you could. Any average person would probably hit consistent sixes with modern bats.
Yeah,
So it's like in all of the odds that are stacked against Bumrah, right? And he's still like out there taking names and kicking ass, right? Because just imagine the Champions Trophy, right? Just one. Imagine how much pressure was on our bowlers just because Bumrah was not there,
yeah,
right?
yeah. No, you're
like
right. So
like
wow, that's actually too many. Like kudos to India, right? Without Bumrah, they managed to do
yeah,
it, and actually, it's very interesting. When I'm going to post this
dude,
to my viewers
the
as
whole
well
Twitter,
next time. Like,
yeah, the whole Twitter went crazy when Shami was limping for like when he was walking. They were like, "Oh my God, is our World Cup done?"
yeah, that's true.
Right? Whereas when Bumrah was there, like other players would get injured and we wouldn't care.
We
We were
wouldn't
like,
care.
you know what?
No, but
Yeah,
no, Bumrah is this the probably the most precious commodity
yes,
in
he's a mythical creature.
he's a mythical creature, man. For him to even survive this long, we have the privilege.
Yeah.
I want to see more of his captaincy, man.
Yes,
In the
definitely.
near future. Um,
And like if you look at his run up, if you look at his action, if you look at his Like just the mindset that he balls with. Like it's weird. It's not even crazy, but it's weird. You're like, you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah. No, but actually you present a very interesting argument. Like, yeah, who is, which era is he bad? Bowling,
Hmm.
the constraints on the bowler,
Yeah.
and the format, how much they have evolved, three formats, how
Hmm.
taxing it is. Basically what you're saying is, if you were to take Bumrah in say 1995 or 1985, he's
Yeah.
going to be this devastating, the most devastating
Yeah.
bowler ever. uh, yeah,
Right. Because he
I
does
can't
have
see, I
pace.
can't debunk that
He does
argument.
have enough
Yeah,
tactics to play around.
yeah,
Right. Because if Wasim Akram were to ball his full pace in IPL, people would probably love it.
yeah, sure. That's one thing that IPL has missed. I personally think Wasim Akram would have been the highest
Uh-huh.
paid player by
Over
far.
Sachin, you
More than
think?
Sachin. Sachin can only bat. This guy is
Yeah.
your number
Hmm.
7, number 8 power hitter who is going to take new ball wickets all the time and can come and
Hmm.
bowl at the death. So he's Bumrah with the
Yeah.
ball and
Hmm.
Wasim Akram with the bat, which is not bad at all, right? In his prime. So, and swing both ways. Oh man,
So
come
what
on.
do you think is Ashish Nehra as a batsman?
No comments.
Yeah, because Ashish Nehra has that record, right?
Yeah,
He has hit the farthest six in Lords
yeah.
ever.
I have to watch that highlight and I will have to probably confirm that fact. But I see that you are a Nehra fan. All right,
Yep.
go ahead.
So yeah, so that's the thing. In terms of Ashish Nehra, um, yeah, you know what? Ashish Nehra was also a good commentator. I don't know what happened to him.
Because he became the coach now for
Yeah,
GT, a very successful
yeah,
coach,
yeah.
and I personally think he's the
Yes.
best coach. He speaks. I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure he just speaks in this colloquial, simple Hindi. Doesn't keep it.
Yeah.
He I think is the MS Dhoni version of coach.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
probably
And
keeps.
he's more of a football coach than a cricket coach in terms of how he operates, right?
I think all the IPL coaches are now becoming that, right? It's entirely
Yeah.
about man
No, because
management.
Ashish Nehra is like all 20 overs, he's like next to the crease.
Oh, yeah, yeah. He's like, yeah, he's going
Right?
to, yeah, he's yeah, not as enterprising as Jose Mourinho, but you can see
Yeah.
his personality
Yeah. And
showing
he
off.
steps into the ground every
Yeah.
chance he gets.
What I actually love is him just taking that stroll in the
Yeah.
boundary line and casually talking to that bowler at third
Yeah.
man
Yeah.
on, and giving him those tips on what he has to do. But he's
Yeah.
a very dude. Come on, first season GT won the IPL. Yeah, and it wasn't like the greatest team or very powerful team. It was like just reminded you of that Rajasthan Royals heist in 2008 under
Yes.
Shane Warne, right? Inspiring
Yeah. I
leadership there.
think GT went to shit when corporate got involved. That's what I feel
Have
like.
they gone to shit
In terms of
already? I don't think they've gone to shit.
they have
They have one
started
bad
to.
season. They won a season.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
came to the last
Mhm.
ball, that Ravindra Jadeja freak. He I mean CSK again, right? Something happens
God.
to people in
Yeah. Yeah.
yellow. Like, but who would
Yeah.
bet against or for the 10 runs in 2 balls, right?
Yeah.
So and they were decent, not decent, but okay, mid-table finish. Now and this season, I think they have excellent bowling
Mhm.
lineup. They know
Yep.
they're playing, putting all their eggs in the bowling basket. You would rather
Yes.
do that than an RCB who would
Mhm.
generally put all the eggs in the batting basket, right? So
No,
you'll,
no, RCB doesn't do that.
yeah, they have. So where do you
They
think?
just bet on three players.
Yeah, we have to come back to
They follow the Trimurti principle. They need three idols,
yeah,
and they base their whole game off. It's like,
yeah, the
yeah,
Gale,
I think
DeVilliers and
RCB with
Kohli,
the
and then
RCB, even me as a Bangalore fan and me being a Bangalorean, even though I'm wearing yellow, um, I would I would definitely hope and pray that RCB gets a better management because RCB style of management is worse than the Goenka's management.
yeah, that's an owner-based team, right? And
Yeah,
owner-based teams can only go so far. Well, Mumbai Indians is an exception. They are a very owner-based.
no, I don't
No,
think
but
they're owner
Jayawardena,
based.
yeah, they've given the reins to Jayawardena. So, yeah, that's a good case study. Mumbai Indians had like the worst season
Yeah,
last year.
Mhm.
with all that Hardik Pandya controversy and everything. But they don't panic. Try not to
Yes.
panic much.
No, also it's like they are the second most highest value team in IPL. So they're like, money wise they're safe. It's not like a Punjab.
Dude, even Punjab, people think, oh, look at that Preeti Zinta, just, oh, and, they
Yeah.
think that just like a little glam
Hmm.
quotient. She's just there for that. She, she probably has more money than the entire savings account of all everybody in the stadium. Because
Yeah.
think of it, right? The valuation of
No,
these.
what I'm trying to say is like Punjab is like the least value team, right, in terms of
Yeah, but
valuation.
what is the power of the least valued team in the IPL, especially the team that was brought in 2008? So there are two different types. You have these eight teams that were bought in 2008. What was Mumbai? Mumbai was bought by Ambani for around 438 or 450 crores, right?
Nothing, honestly.
Now, as you look back, the
Yeah.
moment, so all these teams were brought between the 250 to the 450 crore bracket, right? Rajasthan
Yep.
Royals being the cheapest of them, I remember somewhere at
Hmm.
267 crores. Huge amount in terms of dollars at that time.
Yep.
Dollar was just 40 at that time, but still. Now imagine now what happened when GT and Lucknow were brought. 5,000 crores,
Yes.
7,000 crores,
Yeah.
and the broadcasting money,
Hmm.
2.5 billion dollars.
Billion. Yeah.
50% of it goes to the team owners. The other
Yeah.
50% is with BCCI. Split that
Yep.
50%. So $2.5 billion divided by 10, $1.25 billion
1.25.
divided by
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
teams,
Still $125 million.
$25 million per year. That they have so much
No,
spare
that
change.
was
They are
just
buying all the teams out there.
no, but also that's just like broadcast money.
That is just broadcast
Like
money.
not sponsors,
Yep,
nothing,
all the
nothing.
logos.
Just like pure
Now
money. Yeah.
Preeti Zinta, even if she has, I think she has a more than 5% stake in that. So that
Mm-hmm.
$125 million, it's tough to put it in rupees at this point, unless anyway, but let's just stick to it.
Mm-hmm.
Take 5% of that. That is still
Mm-hmm.
10-15 million dollars
Yeah, it's like $7.5 million,
per
which per
year.
year,
Per
and just from broadcast money,
From just the broadcast money. Exactly. So
right?
to
There is still like jersey, like
yeah,
merchandise, right? Stadium,
yeah.
like the tickets,
Or
sponsorships.
a
Yeah.
simple math would be
Uh,
GT was sold for Lucknow was sold for 7,000 crores, right? Tomorrow, if Punjab gets sold for even say 5,000 crores,
yeah. Minimum.
yeah,
Yeah.
what is 5% or 7%, whatever Preeti Zinta has that stake
Yeah.
of that? So she is 500, 400, 500 crore
Plus.
worth.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty evident. Yeah, we have to think twice before we underestimate any of these people in and around
Yeah.
IPL.
No, but also it's like when you compare to IPL, she's probably not that good, right? But when you compare it to other people, yeah,
In which
which
way?
is like in terms of when you compare Punjab's net worth to like let's say other teams,
Yeah,
it seems poorer.
again, it's like you are saying this billionaire is so poor because he's not as rich as Jeff Bezos or an Elon
Yeah,
Musk.
no, it's
Look at him,
like
just has
there
$2
is
billion
like
dollars.
two digits missing.
But I can tell you the poorest of the IPL team still has the power to buy probably more than five different teams across the world. That's how
Yep,
powerful these guys have become now.
and they're already doing
They
it,
are doing it,
right?
exactly. They say
Yeah,
T20 was entirely brought out by these guys. ILT20, which shouldn't even exist, has all these Indian teams.
yeah.
Whereas I think they
The
ventured into 100.
SA T20,
SAT20, all the six
SA20
teams are IPL teams.
Indians.
Yeah,
It's just like Indians.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
NRIs.
It's actually so weird, right? Like, what is
Yeah,
Cape Town MI? That's the name of the
yeah,
team. Like,
correct.
yeah, it's just ridiculous. Yeah,
Even in women's cricket, is the same thing. All the leagues are like Indian owned, like
yeah,
literal leagues flooded with teams,
yeah.
because
That,
it's like
but you're
money comes from one source.
yeah. India is the king
Big
of
Daddy.
cricket
Yep.
economy. No denying that.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think we should all be also proud of it to some
Yes,
extent, but and
definitely.
also be scared
No,
at the
because
same
if you look
time.
at the time, like time stamp, right? In 73, right, like BCCI was denied two extra tickets, right? And in like 2025, like we are the big daddy, right? We
Yeah,
said we won't go to Pakistan,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. You.
So Jayashar wrote a letter to himself from as a BCCI president to ICC chair saying we won't go to Pakistan, right? And if you look at it, Pakistan suffered like 16,000 crore loss from this tournament. So it's like
I
and when
may
you take
have to
into
fact check
account
that,
the
but I know for
corruption,
sure they had a very, very big loss for
yeah,
sure.
very huge loss.
Yeah.
And it's not only like the because India didn't go, but it's also like corruption and other good stuff.
Yeah. I agree.
So it's like India is capable of doing that,
Sure. Yeah. They
right?
are the
And
bullies. There's no
and people
denying that.
can, yeah, and people can demonize Jay Shah all they want,
Yeah.
but he is the first ICC Indian chair,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like nobody before him.
And do you think we should just probably let people simmer that thought to just
Yes,
at that point? Yeah. We
yes,
came down.
because that's what we have achieved, right?
Yeah.
In like what? In like 50 years.
Yeah. I agree. And
So it's like we should be proud of ourselves. Like we are capable of accomplishing a lot of stuff,
yeah, we are.
right?
And just to
You know how they say like Vijay Mallya owned a Formula One team. Like imagine, like even till today, there is no Middle East owner who owns an F1 team,
and
but
which he
India did
should
it.
not
Like
have owned because it was probably not his money. Again, we are
who
venturing into
cares?
something else, but
We did it. No,
yeah,
no. What I'm saying is
I'm saying
we did
he
it, right?
probably
Like
bought it from the taxpayers' money, right? As you look back, it wasn't even his money.
yeah,
But again,
definitely.
I think we should stick to more non-controversial stuff at this point. Even though
Why?
I know you
Yeah.
love the controversy, but
So,
who's going to
yeah.
win?
So
Probably
coming back
CSK,
to
SRH are the
uh
leading contenders. I would love to
who
see
will be the
SR.
top bottom feeder in
Oh,
points
it
table?
has to be Lucknow, man. Honestly, come on.
Oh my
They look
God.
the most pathetic
Yeah.
of all.
Yeah.
Has to be
So do you
someone
think
has to
Rishabh
really
Pant is like the
nudge Lucknow.
scapegoat?
Sorry.
Do you think Rishabh Pant will be like the scapegoat?
No, I don't think he'll be the scapegoat. He's now the brand for Lucknow. He's going to be there. There will be these other some other, David Miller or yeah, they'll see who's the least performing highly played player, and they'll probably kick that person out. But
Yeah.
they've done well. I like the youngsters who came through. The spinners are really nice. That M
Hmm.
Siddharth guy and the other leg spinner who I have to recollect, but uh, good potential. But somehow they don't have the power other than if Puran doesn't fire, it
Yeah.
just seems like a failed cause. Yeah, but CSK, dude, I'm telling you, these guys are. I didn't get this feeling last year, but this year it's like they have their game plan like super stabilized as
Yeah.
you called out, and I would like SRH, not because they are my like I have a little
Favorite
bias
team.
towards
Yeah.
that, but I think the brand of cricket that they are playing, they deserve an
Yeah.
IPL for that. They are just
Hmm.
leading the pack. They have just brought up the IPL to this new 250, 280 standard, which a traditionalist will not like. Even I'm not a big
Hmm.
fan of these high scoring games, but for
What about
what they have.
300?
Sorry.
I literally like felt like as an SRH team fan. I was like, what do you think about 300?
Yeah, it's going to happen, man. I feel
You know
like.
it's going it I have a strong feeling this season it will happen.
Yeah, again, Chinnaswamy. If Chinnaswamy rolls out a
And
flat track
probably, yeah,
or
no, and,
Delhi,
and probably like at least I feel like at least 4 to 5 ballers career will be like this will be the last year. And that's because of SRH.
looks like Joffer Archers could be a good
Oh
start.
my
4 over
god.
76
Yes,
runs. Yeah,
yes.
maybe.
Yeah, yeah. And he was still smiling.
I think it was my
Yeah, because honestly, you couldn't do much,
true,
right?
true.
You know it's a bad day. And
Yeah,
Joffrey is not a bad bowler. It's just like, yeah, it's a bad day, like can't do shit about it.
yeah, true. Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he hasn't delivered in the IPL to be honest. But yeah, I
Yes.
mean to be honest, he will be judged on what he does in the Ashes, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Wow. We
That's why I feel like all of the most international players, it's like a honeymoon for them, right? Like you get paid to practice
yeah. That's yeah.
because it's not like like their performance in IPL will impact their international selection
Yeah. I agree. That's
because
yeah, it doesn't.
unless they are
It's
coming to
there like
India.
okay, let me go and make my money. That's
Yeah.
very clear, and I think some of the boats have embraced that, and they are the least harmed. Whoever
Hmm.
have tried to fight it have lost the battle. West Indies, for example,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
like Australia.
Uh, no, they don't stop
You
their
remember
players.
Australia tried to call their players back like
They
3 4 years
tried, but
ago.
I think the players also actually give have to give back a part of their
Revenue.
revenue to the boards. Actually,
Yep.
you have to pay some money to them, and yeah, they're going to
Yeah.
do well. But again, going back to your question, CSK, SRH. I'm not bullish about RCB. I'm sorry for anybody who's watching. Don't blame me for that. Blame the person who did not pick another strike bowler. Um, I hope they go a long way for the fans though. But yeah,
Hmm.
it just seems on paper, it seems those two teams are the
Yeah, but the sad thing for RCB is like there are no local players. There is no like local representation,
yeah, Devdutt
and
Padikkal
that's been like
is the
that story
only
since like 2011 12.
yeah yeah, that's another topic.
Because that's when all the Dravids and the Kumble's went away. So it's
Yeah
like,
I
um,
yeah,
you know,
I think we should talk about that
yes,
sometime later, because that will get me
and
going for another 2 hours, like talking about the regional players and other things. But wow,
yep, that happens, and there is not much we as fans can do about it.
true, true,
That's very clear at this point of time.
true.
Yeah, so thank you so much for being here and gossiping for nearly 2 hours. It was a blast. So thank you so much for being here and making your time.
Yeah, thank you. And I would, I hope there are still listeners sticking around. If they
Yes,
are sticking around, you can see probably, yeah, they are probably the most passionate ones who would
or
appreciate
angry
the
ones,
cricket. Sorry,
or the angry ones.
the angry ones. Yes, I think you provoke them enough to stay.
No, I think I have promoted almost all sectors of cricketers.
Yeah, I'm not going to refute that now.
Yeah, so guys, this is the end of the episode. Please check out Ram's podcast, right? Because seems like he knows a lot about cricket and he can provide a lot of value, especially if you're a Tamil speaker, right?
Yeah.
Um, or you could probably go to YouTube and just switch on the closed captions. Um,
Yeah, I mean,
right.
I'll be very open. Like Tamil is the yeah. If you're a Tamilian, you speak Tamil or understand Tamil a little bit, then you will enjoy. It's a Tanglish one, uh,
Mhm.
but targeted towards that. You
How strictly do you use the language, or do you use
oh no,
English?
it's I use that's why I say it's Tanglish.
Yep.
Especially talking about cricket, it's so difficult to just
So
state.
it's like 80-20 or
Yeah,
seventy
I would
thirty.
say 80-20, but we get the feedback sometimes that you speak too much English.
English? Oh my
um,
God.
little
Hmm.
like the entire sentence shouldn't be in English is what we try to
Yes.
say, but there are
Mhm.
certain things in cricket you cannot just
And also, there are certain like sentences that suit in English.
absolutely,
Like
yeah,
that's just the
absolutely, yeah.
nature of language,
Yeah,
right?
so we end of the day that we want to keep to our natural selves.
Yep.
And yeah, you can just go and type Tamil cricket podcast and you should see Match Paatheengala Boss show up on
So,
any platform.
guys, in the Tamil cricket niche, Ram's podcast is like the biggest podcast. So yeah, and his episode or even like his shows links will be in the description of this episode. So if you are interested, just go there and check him out. And yeah, just leave him a feedback of you are from Sapient. So that way it does make a more sense. And yeah, if you have not yet been offended as a cricket person, I would say yeah, very good. Right. And just wait for another 1 or 2 episodes, we'll probably offend you. We'll manage to do that.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, there are probably a couple
And
of
if you're offended,
yeah, I was
right,
saying
if you're offended, like it's okay, it's a sport. Don't worry about it, don't bowl me bouncers. Right. Yeah, Ram, sorry, you were saying something.
no, I said we might have left a couple of demographics, so we'll probably take care of them and
Yeah,
offend them
exactly. Yeah,
the
yeah.
next
All
time.
people will be offended in due time. Like it's a due process, so trust the process, right? you know, we will definitely challenge your stereotypicals. And with that, this is the end of the episode. And if you have made it so far, thank you so much for being here. Um, and until the next episode, take care. Right? Watch your matches, fight with each other, peacefully though. Right. And just remember, in like a month, all of us will be like supporting for our national teams, right? So thank you so much, and bye bye. Take care.